What is going on, guys? We are back with another rebuild on Madden 23, and today it is of the Atlanta Falcons, a team that has definitely spent some money in free agency, maybe a little bit too much at certain positions, but others can't really hate. Doing a rebuild of a Panthers rival, and the reason why I mentioned the Panthers is because got to apologize to Panthers fans. The last rebuild, it wasn't bad by any means, but for some reason, I just completely forgot to add Von Bell and Miles Sanders. Of course, you watch that, a little bit of a spoiler alert. Even without them, we won a Super Bowl year one. If we really struggled in that one and didn't win a Super Bowl ever, especially not year one, I probably would actually redo that because those are pretty decent moves, especially real life concerns. But considering we won Super Bowl year one without them, tells me that maybe with a better team, because they're obviously 280-plus overall players, would have won it anyways, so there's really no point. I think the reason why I did forget, though, is I actually made that roster, well, didn't even make the roster, I started that roster and set everything up right after the Bears and Panthers trade, but there was a bunch of Panthers rebuilds up, so I left it. And because when you're doing these rebuilds, you have to go from active roster anyways, you can't build the roster before going in. So I just went back to it, added Adam Thielen and whatever, but for some reason forgot Miles Sanders and Von Bell, even though I was very well aware of it. I was very aware of all the situation going on. I forgot to add them, yet added Adam Thielen. I don't understand how that happened. It just did. But end of the day, it still was a good rebuild. It still was successful, and we ended up with Derrick Henry anyways. So maybe that's a move that maybe the Panthers should have done or should do. I don't know. It's whatever, obviously, maybe not as versatile, but still, good running back. You want to run the ball, that's your guy. Looking at the Falcons team, though, offensive line, one of the best in the league, actually. At least they played like it last season. I bumped McGarry a little bit. McGarry obviously did get a 3-year $35, so pretty much worthy of, better than 75 overall normal. I think an 80 overall star is fair. Lindstrom, I don't know how high Pro Football Focus actually goes with their ratings. A lot of really good players all time have gotten 95s. I think 95 might be the highest they go, which is what he actually got last season. The contract they signed him to, I know it's a guard, but a 5-year 105, not that bad actually for the way he's played. Jake Matthews has been an average to above average player ever since being a Falcon, so super dependable there. Hennessy, solid. Dolman was decent. I mean, this offensive line was actually pretty good. It was actually pretty good. The rookie class, speaking of, was pretty good. The running back, the wide receiver, obviously, very solid. The problem is the wide receiver, not wide receivers. This is a thin wide receiving unit, and it's a move I want to do, but I don't know if I'm going to do it because people are going to see it as cheating. I really want to add DeAndre Hopkins to this team. Do I see this team as a win-now team? Probably not, but they do have some sneaky sleeper talent, and the drafts have gone decently well for them recently, so one more draft away, especially if it's a quarterback, you never know. And obviously DeAndre Hopkins is going to help any quarterback. I will say this is probably the best time to try and get him, unless, well, I would say if DeAndre Hopkins has one more bad season / injured season, I don't know how many people are going to want him in general, but this would be the best time to get him because obviously if he goes off for Arizona, GG trying to get him for cheap, even though he is up there in age anyways. But wide receiver is a huge need. Do you want to spend high capital on one, risking it, or do you want to just get DeAndre Hopkins, have a good guy there? I'm just saying. Also, quarterback is not out of the option. I think, or out of the question. I think if Anthony Richardson is there at 6, maybe we make a trade with Detroit. I don't know. We might make a trade. We'll see what happens. Defense, obviously, they spent a little bit of money on Ellis. Got a lot of potential there. Shown some bursts. And with the Saints, of course, and got paid. Definitely got paid. Lorenzo Carter, I definitely do not see as a starter or like the main starter. Definitely a rotational guy. Jessie Bates was obviously the big ticket item for that defensive backfield. Mike Hughes was a decent little addition. Eddie Goldman, out of nowhere. Unretiring. Kind of strange, right? Onyemata got a nice payday. He's once again he's like the defensive Jake Matthews for this team now. Richie Grant, there's worse safeties in the league. You could be the Packers safeties. Awful. Trey Anderson was not good, but as far as a Madden user goes, he's super fun. I don't know if we're going to be able to use him much, but it's not the worst team. We definitely have some potential here. There's positions we definitely need to address. There's positions we won't have to address, like free safety, cornerback 1, depending on what Hughes does, maybe cornerback in general. And then offensively, O-line, some positions are set. Running back might be set. Wide receiver 1 and tight end 1 are set. The Kyle Pitts situation, I don't even know what's going on. Like so much potential. It's just like, can you get this guy the ball? That's all I ask. Heineke obviously got a huge contract, but he's pretty dependable, and depending what other quarterback moves they make, he could end up becoming their starter next season. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, I definitely still want a quarterback. I don't know if Ritter is going to be our guy. 24-year-old normal is a lot to ask for, but definitely so far right now, the guy that they're hoping is the answer, because once again, Heineke, we kind of know his ceiling, whereas Ritter, still young, still has potential. All right, the Panthers with pick 1 overall. I have seen some rumblings of pick 2 potentially being Will Anderson. Once again, we've all kind of thought that maybe a little early for the Texans to go QB. They did add a bunch of names, though, in fairness, so maybe they're a little closer than we think, and it's quarterback after all. It's the position of need. But if Will Anderson went number 2, could Arizona trade back? I'm just saying. They're going to take Bryce Young, but let's, for whatever reason, say they take edge. We trade up to 3, get a QB. Ooh. I think Arizona is in a win-win, right? Like, obviously, they're probably looking at Will Anderson as their number 1, but if Will Anderson goes number 2, pick 3 becomes maybe just as valuable as pick 1. It legitimately might. It very well be very close, because you're still getting Bryce Young. I think Arizona gets very close to the same that the Bears do, because pick 2 is expected to be Bryce, right? So it would be interesting. I don't think we can make that play, but if it happens, it happens. See who number 1 is. It is... They have no quarterback, EA. Why is this game so bad? I actually removed these players right as free agency is recapped, because obviously if I do it any sooner, they're just going to grab another quarterback. Free agency is recapped. It's done. No free agents can be signed. QBs are removed. And then I sim one more time to get to the actual point where I can, do private workouts and all that. So there should be no reason for them to have an edge need. Also, when you consider the fact that they already have a decent edge rusher, 74 overall star dev, 25-year-old, plus Miles Murphy is projected at like 12 or something. So at least in this class, we could have had Miles Murphy at 8. Instead, the whole thing is ruined. I have to just go off word, right? The Colts are probably going to end up taking, Stroud. That should be Anthony Richardson. It's a disaster, dude. I don't even know what to tell you. So at this point, I would assume Anthony Richardson is gone at 4. That's basically what we're going to say. So 1 would have been Stroud, 2 Bryce Young, 3 Anderson, 4 Anthony Richardson, 5 probably Jalen Carter, 6 probably some sort of corner. But if for some reason, the quarterbacks didn't fall that way, I could have maybe went to 6, got Anthony Richardson just in front of the Raiders. Not going to happen. I don't know what I'm going to do at 8. Simply put, Tyree Wilson even goes there at 6. Anthony Richardson to 7, which would have been considered maybe Will Levis instead. At this point, Will Levis is not there in my opinion. But cornerback is obviously on the board. Do you want to take that position? Edge is obviously a huge need, but all the edge players, because Miles Murphy went 1 overall, even though he shouldn't have, kind of gone. Do you go edge still? I don't know if I see Arizona trading down because there's so much value here in the top 10. But as far as the way this specific draft went down, I don't see me being able to draft here unless it's wide receiver, which I don't know if, even though Atlanta clearly needs a wide receiver, I don't know if they see it as so much of a need that they're going to pass on a very much needed defensive player like an edge. All right, so we trade back to the Packers for 47, obviously gaining 15 as well. Our players are gone. The best available pick would have probably been some sort of lineman here based on, the tackle situation right now, unless you're looking to move on from Matthews, which is definitely a thought. I just don't see that being the thing. Green Bay, seeing how wide receivers went last year, there was probably a good chance that Green Bay was looking to trade up in that early-ish, mid first round spot, anywhere from like 11 to like 17 or so. But all the wide receivers just started falling. They think that's going to happen again with teams like the Titans, Texans. Wouldn't say the Jets anymore, but a team could trade in. The Bears maybe still see a wide receiver as a need. They might make that trade up to get wide receiver, and instead it's Lucas Van Ness, another guy that's climbing up the boards. Could very well have been the pick for us there, but at this point, I just think there's so much more talent. We could still get edge if we wanted to. Corner's still an option. I mean, there are a lot of options here, and I really like the trade back there. I still think we're going to get immense value. Jordan Addison sadly goes there. Maybe that would have been our pick. We get 47 with it. Devon Witherspoon is still there. Wide receiver is JSN is still there. Could go safety. Brazee maybe, but we do have Eddie Goldman who came back. There's plenty of opportunity here still, and I don't hate the move that we made. I think, honestly, I probably would have went with Van Ness there if we didn't move back, but there are still other options. I kind of want Trenton Simpson as well. I don't know. Somebody's got to take him. No one really talks about him, it seems, but, man, I don't know. And we need wide receiver badly. I'm going in Jigba. I have to. He's probably going to be a little bit faster than that based on, well, maybe not, but he obviously had a really nice pro day 40, so a little unexpected. What do we want to make a move here? I think edge is still a huge need, but once again, all the edge are gone, so what could I do? Cornerback still may be an idea, but with some of the moves they made, I think maybe we can live without it for now. Wide receiver, definitely want to add another one, and then a linebacker wouldn't hurt. So maybe you move down until you're stuck with either Trenton or maybe one of the edge rushers like Felix. Looks pretty good. We trade 40, 72, and 199 for 26 and 154. Really debating on what I want to do here. Could end up going, even though I really hate the way he plays in Sim, with Derek Hall. Kincaid is still there. Tight ends are still there, which kind of sucks. But Bijan Robinson's still there. Oof. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. I think there's going to be a team that takes him in the top 15 for sure. Pass rusher's still an option, though. Definitely still an option. Do I want to go Trenton Simpson? I really do. But as far as what do I think is going to happen in real life, I think you got to get a first-round edge rusher. What do I want to do, though? I don't know. And you know what? I am going to go Trenton Simpson. While they may not all have an elite ceiling, the Falcons did add a bunch of different, well, maybe not add, but they have a bunch of different edge rushers. But as far as off-ball goes, we're kind of lacking here. And I'm going to go to 15. Maybe if edge is there, that's where we go this time. I don't know. But I really like Trenton Simpson. Haven't had him in, I don't know, ever in this this Madden rebuilding realm. And once again, there still are rushers that we can go for. And man, even though he's never good for me in Sim, I'm going to go Derek Hall. This is the smartest pick for this team. Ugh. Also going to boost his speed a little bit. Just don't think Andre Carter is the prospect that would make the Falcons feel great about passing in the first round on edge. So we trade from 104 with 6 this and a 6 next to 86 with the Chargers, which I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to go for here. I just know I want someone. I was going to make a trade for Garrett Williams, and honestly, with the cornerback situation we have, I think we're fine enough for now. I think we have bigger needs that aren't corner, unless there are, there's a decent corner here or not. I don't know if there actually is. Garrett Williams is still there. Oh, I honestly kind of figured that I was going to take Jaren Hall with this pick, to be honest. I really was planning on taking Jaren Hall, and I don't know if I will now. I talked this whole, I don't really think I need cornerback, and Garrett Williams is there, and I want him, and so are some wide receivers as well, in fairness, but cornerback, if we got Garrett Williams here, we might be set for the rest of this thing. That'd be insane. Yeah, I'm going to take Garrett Williams. Super young. I want him as a starter. Number 2. He's my number 2. I don't care how much different talents we have. Casey Hayward at number 3 makes a little more sense for me. I don't care. I don't care. If Jaren Hall is there at, the start of the 4th, I'll go for him. So many running backs just went, by the way, as well, which, to be fair, we kind of do need another running back. Now, while it's way, way, way too early to judge, I have no use for D'Angelo Malone, and the Eagles are obviously a team that can spot talent from a mile away, so they're going to take D'Angelo Malone from us with a 5th this and a 6th next to move up to 95, which we may be using to take the future starting quarterback of this team, who knows, in Jaren Hall, I think. Once again, I'm conflicted. Yeah, I think the pick is Jaren Hall. It's him. He's our guy. Jaren Hall, welcome. You know, got a little bit of athleticism, some throw power, and you know, his team needs a guy that can move around a little bit. Dell, you know what? I'm going to go tank Dell. I haven't had him in this, you know, realm. Didn't even know if he was normal or not. 92 speed, 92 excel, 92 jumping. We like the route running. At least I hope he's going to have decent route running. I will say, though, not landing a defensive lineman is a little iffy. And we're going to add to the running back room Ibrahim. Some speed, some tankiness. Why not? And then at 27 or 28 in the 7th round, I don't know, probably just add some more depth. Maybe some random DT. Definitely should have done a little bit better in that regard. But every other regard I really like. And I can't find any like real prospects really anymore. So Michael Jefferson, normally I just grab him from free agency. But getting him on a cheap 7th-year contract or 7th-round contract, also not a bad decision. All right, let's see how much we added to the team. 75, 75, 74, 73. Don't ask about it. 71, 72, 68, 64. Not bad at all. We got ourselves some starters. Definitely some starters. We'll take it. Of course, not a huge fan of Jaren Hall being 65, but I just feel like the team had to grab QB, right? They had to grab one. And if Ritter struggles early, I suppose Jaren Hall will get his chance. So we might be taking the L a little bit with starting some younger guys that maybe shouldn't be starting over others. Can't really say the same about offense, really, other than, you know, maybe Heineke gets the job over Ritter because he's more experienced. But offensive line looks pretty good. You know, left guard, center spot could be upgraded. But as far as real life goes, I felt like it's fair to start them. So I'm going to give them 1 year. And also, I feel like we had bigger needs, so we didn't go and address the offensive line this first season. Defensively, though, solid, right? Like maybe need a new middle linebacker too. Edge will constantly be paying attention to. Safety maybe. Corner I think is set. D-line there's some age. There's definitely some age. Eddie Goldman's like 29, 30. Onyemata's like 30, but they gave him a 3 or 35, so I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do. It is what it is though, but potential. There's definitely potential. It's just still don't really have our franchise quarterback. So as you would have expected, not having the greatest of seasons. I have no idea how well Eddie Goldman's playing. I also don't know where his headspace is. He's back, I suppose. He's back. Yeah, I'm not really sure what we're going to be doing with him, but he's back, so we'll probably wait until the end of the season to make a decision on him. And as far as everyone else goes, I suppose Hennessy, if he's playing well, gets a contract, but, you know, Stardev is really misleading here, as he is a very low overall. 25 doesn't give him the biggest chance to be like the long-term guy. I'd still probably be willing to do a 2 or a 3 year just to have someone, you know, secure in place. 6 sacks, obviously, way worse allowed sacks than anything in real life. A 2 year 8, I think that's fair for both sides, and we'll see where we're at. So not a great season, but one thing is certain. Desmond Ritter is not the guy. He was outperformed by both Heineke and Jaren Hall. And you're thinking, what the hell, 3 quarterbacks? Yes, 3 quarterbacks. Heineke maybe got a short end of the stick as well, but I benched him because we were losing. Jaren Hall put up better wins. So I'll try to remember exactly where I bench certain players at. I will try. But I do know that Jaren Hall won his first 2 games. So at this point, I think, Heineke started here, and then I benched him here. And then this is where Jaren Hall played. So Jaren Hall went 3-3, whereas Heineke went 1 and I believe, was that 5? And Ritter went 0-4. So Jaren Hall was the biggest winner. Statistics-wise, though, Heineke might have been the best quarterback. We'll actually have to take a look real quick at the numbers. But Jaren Hall, 13 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 64 yards. Completion percentage was definitely the best for Heineke, though, with the best passer rating in general. You could say maybe I was a little harsh with Ritter's definitely not the guy, but Jaren Hall played better while being the youngest by far out of the bunch. Heineke probably, like I said, did get the shortest end of the stick as, statistically, yards, per attempt, he was the best. Touchdown to pick ratio, he was technically the best because he didn't play as much. He probably would have had better if he would have gotten to play, but Jaren Hall was the biggest winner out of them, which, once again, there's just something about winning. 3-3, stats are great and all, but he was able to win. To go 3-3 is pretty good as a rookie. Speaking of rookies, Rookie of the Year with JSN. I didn't actually look at the numbers, but I will say in this scheme, definitely not a good running scheme. Running back, Algier never had a chance. He never had a chance. Receiving, Njigba was amazing. Kyle Pitts was pretty good. Drake London was good, but not as good as real life. And how is Mac Holland? Why did Tanks not start? Why did he not start? I actually, in fairness, I don't know what happened. I know that the game's just trash, obviously, so the game reorders your depth chart all the time anyways. But at one point, when I started Heineke over Ritter, I think Ritter was able to actually sneak his way back into the starting lineup. And that's clearly what happened here with Hollins, which really pisses me off. I don't want you starting over Tank Dell. I just don't. What about the slot? Did that change as well? Yep, that changed as well. This was supposed to be Drake London. This is how I had it set up. I really don't understand why. Why is the game doing that? Oh, and this got changed too? Injuries are off, so I don't understand what's going on here. Like, why are these things happening? Like, why is everything changing, bro? Like, the sim is way too slow for me to be checking the roster every single time I sim, dude. Like, you just can't do that. I don't understand why they would reorder at all. I just don't get it. Practice squad injuries were off. Everything was off. I actually didn't even look at the defense, did I? Because I was distracted by the fact that Mac Hollins started over Tank Dell, which is significantly, well, started over Drake London even, technically, for the slot wide receiver role, which definitely slowed down the progress of our team, I would say. Blocking, not great, but for Madden terms, it's okay. Derek Hall. 9 sacks. Great Jarrett, 7. Carter, 5.5. Should have been Ebikidi, so his development is slowed. Love this game. Oh, well. 5-12. I really wonder where that puts us in the top 5. Should be good enough to get a quarterback, though. But Bills, 31-21 over the Cowboys. JSN, please be superstar. That's all I ask. And he is no other DevOps. Not obviously a shocker, but superstar development trait. We needed that badly. So now we have our 3 receivers, if you will, set in stone, it seems. And then sadly, defense, unless I'm forgetting something, I don't think a single player went up, not even Derek Hall, which, I mean, I guess it's fair that he didn't, but it was still a really good season, especially for Derek Hall. He usually is terrible for me in rebuilds. He's so bad usually, but he's actually really good right now, ratings-wise, and had a good season, which we love to see. Could you maybe see Ritter traded off for like a 5th or a 6th from a team that is super desperate? Maybe. But yeah, as far as what we're aiming for, quarterback, obviously. Jaren Hall, he had an okay, little campaign. Heineke's okay as well, but their ceilings, especially Heineke, are very low. And yeah, unless the quarterback is like, class is just the worst ever, this is definitely QB drafting season. And with pick 2 overall, I mean, there's got to be somebody decent there, right? There just has to be. So sadly, Eddie Goldman will be going to free agency. We didn't even use him right anyways. Probably should have been the nose tackle, but it is what it is. Michael Walker, as much as I think he's not bad in game, there's just, once again, certain builds, certain age players that just don't work out. And that is just somebody that obviously isn't going to work out at his age. Looking at free agency, but I don't expect us to spend too much here, as obviously, wow, there are some insane names. We're a team that is, still looking for our franchise quarterback, which we're hoping does happen this season, in fairness. But, there's just no point in, like, kind of going all out on free agents when, we still don't even have our franchise quarterback. Like I said, Devin White's been a guy that's been talked about being, shopped around a little bit. So the fact that he's a free agent here tells me that he should be free game, right? Jordan Brooks is maybe a little bit better because he's got that 5+ block shedding. 5 zone seems to be way easier to get than 5 block shedding for linebackers. But the speed difference, I think, makes Devin White our top priority if we're going to go linebacker, which with Trenton Simpson as the starter, this would be a pretty good duo if we can get them, which Detroit has given us a run. I think we maybe put some money into this, lock up our linebackers for the future. Uche, he's very interesting as well. 84 finesse, just about 11 per is not terrible. Ebikidi kind of got scammed by the game's auto sorting system. I don't think you're getting much of an upgrade with Josh, though, so I'm not going to go for him. And then Rashawn Gary, I think Green Bay absolutely locks him up, especially assuming Rodgers is gone. I know that you've been hearing that a lot in the media lately, but that's obviously the whole kind of plan, and that's been the big focal point of the offseason for a lot of different news outlets, if you will. D-line wouldn't hurt. You could add a veteran there. I don't mind adding a veteran at the interior defensive line position, but as far as grabbing some insane veteran running back and wide receiver, that's just kind of pointless. As far as realism availability goes, Kirk Cousins would probably be your best bet, and a 75 overall star, probably not someone I'm looking to start. All right, spending a little bit of money on defense in this one, obviously on guard as well, but let's see who we get, if any, and it seems like we got the two defenders. Ed Oliver, 2-year 25, superstar development trade, 26-year-old, I will say, though. Definitely more of a name than talent at this rate, but with the age of our defensive line, the average age anyways, being so high, it's nice to have someone that's youthful down the line, but I will say 79 power move, 81 block shed, more of a name than an actual talent, so we're hoping that he actually does live up to that contract, but luckily it's only a 2-year, and then Devin White, putting a little bit of money into him, a 4-year 44 as an 82 overall, but 26 years old, blazing fast. I think he's worth it, and surprisingly did not get Kevin Dotson on the first try, not the second try, but on what appears not to be the third try either. They actually got him with a full bar less than us expected. I will say contract-wise, they did give him basically what we offered, but very interesting. They actually, it was like a whole bar less than us. It's not a common sight. I'm interested by why that happened, but whatever. Run blocking, not great, but I suppose this is a super, the scheme dictates to be a super heavy pass offense, so a 2-year 14 for John Runyon wouldn't be bad. And as far as free agency goes, I'm not going to spend any more. $40 million, no quarterback to pay. We're in a good spot. We're fine. We just need to have another good draft. All right, there are a few good quarterbacks, and I think I know which one I want. I'm kind of curious to see if the Jets will take QB. I don't know who their QB is. They might end up going with one of the youngsters, or not youngsters, but free agent availabilities. Zach Wilson's okay rating-wise, but obviously should probably be moving on from him. We'll see if they go with that. Hopefully it's not my dude. And it is not. Well, it was one of my guys, but I still think the guy that I want is better. He has the highest grade. He is a 1-2 talent. I didn't get to scout the other two fully, but 1-2 talent, which means he should at least be, 73 plus. And he is the youngest. He is the most prototypical of the quarterbacks you want, and he has great throw power. So Isaiah Matthews, with the most A's as well, is going to be my choice. And the fact that he's hidden is already all I need to know. Number 16, I don't know if he's going to be wearing number 16 for me, but that's a good pick. Pick 2 is next. There's a couple of DTs, but I don't think I have anyone that's like I must grab this high. So it looks like we have our franchise quarterback. I don't like to go lineman that high, but this guy is pretty good. His finesse blocking isn't the greatest, but he does look very solid, I will admit. And it's a pretty weak offensive line class, if I do say so myself. But as far as needing D-line goes, there's some pretty good ones in Ray Richardson and Ballard. You also have Drayton. I suppose you can get him a little bit later. Safety's not the worst. Yeah, you know what? Considering this class doesn't have a lot going on for it, I'm going to go with George Borden here, and we will land a hidden development trade player. I mean, he just looked solid. He just looked like a solid player. What can I tell you? Let's go to pick 2 in the third. Maybe I should have slow simmed it because there were a lot of 2 to 3s. One of the Dane was actually the safety we're looking at, so might have just screwed ourselves hard. Let's see who's there. So the safeties are all gone, but we do have DTs. Drayton looks pretty good, but Ballard's still there. I'm pretty sure he was kind of weak, though. 32 reps actually isn't terrible. A finesse, C block shed. Don't actually know Drayton's block shed, but a B to C or a B to D is probably a C. A little bit stronger as well. Could use both in fairness, though. So do we not just maybe try to get both for the future? I'm going to go with Ballard. I'm going to go with Mr. Edward Ballard, 21 years old, sadly normal, and 86 strength. Yeah, I mean, I figured he was going to be low, but I thought maybe 87, 88. We're going to be trading the Chargers 130 and Desmond Ridder. Obviously, they lost Herbert. They almost always lose Herbert in Sim. I feel like that's okay, right? Like a 5th and a 3rd round quarterback for a 3rd round pick, especially when the quarterbacks are pretty much all gone. They didn't go QB apparently. Running back's an option. J.J. Cohen, I believe he was decently fast. 4.44. A trucking, not bad at all. Running back is kind of a need because the guys we have aren't performing, but at the same time they should be. So like, what do you do with that? But Earl Drayton, he's also 21 years old, and of course he's in development. He was definitely better than better than the guy we had. A awareness, 21 years old, Jimmy Swanson. Normal development trait, sadly. Also a little weaker than I would have thought. But let's move until one of the running backs is gone, and that already happened. Okay, forget what I said. Boom, there's the trade. Nelson Wagner's my guy, 21 years old, 5'10", normal development trait. 91 speed, 91 excel. Change direction is only 77, though, which is the traditional sadness. I don't want to see that Bills fullback. They drafted a guy 31st pick in the 4th round. Well, obviously fullback, which is kind of crazy, kind of insane. 433. I'll go one more round. If that guy's there, I'll grab him. But if not, I think we're fine on wide receivers, which definitely didn't expect to be able to say that early into this one. Boom, trade with the Jets, which will be Mr. LaShawn Lucas. 97 speed, 95 excel, new kick returner. Down to 30 mil cap, but we got our franchise QB, I think. 74 overall, 75 for the center, 74 for the DCO. Normal development trade, however, Drayton with hidden is 3 overalls less, so you get that breakout, and Ballard's already there. Swanson 73 overall, but he was normal, and then Wagner 72 overall normal, Lucas 70 overall normal. So obviously, got to take a look at this quarterback, see how good he was. 21 years old, 6'4", very accurate, 93 throw power. Looks great, looks very solid. What is the dev? If we can get to it, it is X Factor. Huh. All right. Wow, our numbers are limited. We might have to change that. 16 is something. X Factor. Okay. Trigger happy sense of pressure was interesting. So that happened. Well, we definitely have our franchise quarterback now. Let's take a look at the quarterbacks that we could have had, shall we? DeJounte Smith. Very accurate as well. I can't remember the athleticism. I'm just thinking about the X Factor. I don't even remember how fast he was. What is his dev? They took him over our guy. And he was superstar, I suppose. I mean, you can't really go wrong with either guy, I suppose. 70 overall for the Patriots. I never would have thought of this guy. He had really bad ratings, and compared to the rest of them. And, of course, 22 years old. Obviously, the Jets guy is 22, but better key ratings, obviously. Development trait is also superstar. We've been seeing some kind of crazy... I don't even know what number looks good. 15, I guess. Maybe 17 was better, actually. Been seeing some crazy quarterback drafts, though. And who is this? The Rams? Chris Kent. He also looked decent, but he had like a C in one of the ratings. So I was like, hell no. And it probably was short. As you can see, it's 73 short accuracy. But what is his dev now? Star development trait. So 2 superstars and X Factor. We got the X Factor, thankfully. And I think that actually was the only quarterbacks, right? The Eagles, no Hurts. Did end up with the fastest of the okay quarterbacks. 84 speed, 89 excel, 87 agility, but yeah, definitely an iffy one. I want to take a look at the 2 players. I want to see Cohen, see how much we missed out on him. Normal dev, so it really didn't matter too much who we took. And then I obviously want to see that fullback that the Bills took late 4th. I don't see fullbacks go too high often. 67 overall, normal. What had gotten... Okay, so he is a weird fullback. He's really fast and his strength is good. But even weirder is that he is awful. 43 run block. He's basically a slow running back. What's his size? Yeah, I'm not really sure what that's about, but that is not a good pick. But yeah, I think we had a good draft. Season 2 roster, obviously, things may change at the running back position as Algier, even though he's got lots of potential in real life, doesn't look super great in game. He doesn't look super great in the game because EA is just the way they are. They like there's certain running backs, there's certain styles, and for some reason he's not him. Well, 86 speed isn't the greatest to work with either, but there is a good chance that he does get replaced this season, even in season. It's not my choice. It's not my fault. I mean, well, it is my choice, but it's definitely not my fault. Could it be Ibrahim? Could it be the running back we just drafted in Mr. Wagner? Nelson Wagner, 21 years old, a lot of potential. Spin move sucks, but good speed, good trucking. You know, if it's not going to work out for one player, why should I start them? Also, JSN should still be number 2. The offensive line, I'm still going to start Hennessy because Runyon, his ratings are actually worse than I thought. And, Runyon was expected, or somebody, Hennessy maybe back to center, was expected to happen, but we got Borden, so there's no point. We just got good depth at the offensive line spot, which is not a bad thing either. Devin White, middle linebacker 1, which maybe hopefully adds to this defense. There's a lot of potential, and there's also a lot of players that could need to be replaced. Strong safety, left outside linebacker, right end. Talked about on offense already, maybe a lineman or 2, running back perhaps. But there is also a lot of potential with the wide receiver still being young, the tight end obviously still being young, a couple of linemen still being young, and then the X-Factor quarterback, and then a couple of young defenders as well. So a lot of potential, a lot of talent, and a lot of question marks, though, specifically at that running back spot. And it sucks because teams actually want Drew Dahlman, and I would actually like to trade... Okay, dude. I would like to trade him, but I also don't want to deal with the roster reorder, so I'm just going to say, hey, great, offensive line depth, sweet. As far as preseason goes so far, running backs-wise, it's pretty even. I do have a little bit of hope that maybe Ibrahim could be Ibrahim, if you will. Very similar stats. We'll kind of see what happens. I don't really care. Like, obviously, I'd rather have Algier be the guy because he's the highest overall. He has the highest potential, technically. But, once again, I am in it to win it, and you got to have the best players to win it, simply put. Also, this really sucks. I'm going to go football IQ because it really doesn't matter too much for an edge, I guess. I'm going to change that play rec to... I normally wouldn't do this, but I'm going to change it to a +3 to power and finesse. So they asked me if I wanted attributes or XP, and I chose attributes, which we get a +3 to throw under pressure, which I think is better than whatever little XP they were going to give us. So I actually put Ibrahim in because, once again, Algier was having like a 3.2 yards per carry season after 4 weeks, and he's a star development trade player. I think we made the right call. 71 mil, and I suppose it's not terrible contract re-signings, but AJ Terrell is asking for some money. A 5-year 100. Not bad. That's not bad. As a 20 mil per, that's not bad at all. Mike Hughes is an 80 overall, but he's already 27. I think you got to let him go, especially since he's our number 3. A 3-year 18 it's not crazy, but it's not the best. Richie Grant, I think you need to replace because his ceiling is kind of, it's reached. But a 3-year 10 as even a backup isn't terrible. Lorenzo Carter, maybe that's once again not bad backup money. 50 mil, rookie quarterback contract. We can kind of afford some backups. I don't know if he's really worth it, though, to be honest. If we win, we might be in. If we lose, well, we're still in, apparently, at 8 and 9. Not the best stuff. Of course, Desmond Ridder, you can see his top 3 quarterback. Gotta love it. When you trade a player, they automatically become a god. We lost 3 of the last 4. 4 of the last 6, which is really not good. Would have had ourselves a pretty good season if we didn't lose those games. We won the first 2, lost 3 after that. I mean, there's just no consistency in a good way for us. Matthews, really bad season. For Madden terms. Obviously, that's not a bad rookie year, but Madden terms, it's bad. Ibrahim, yeah, this scheme just sucks, dude. It's awful. It is terrible. Drake London was good. Pitts was decent. JSN was decent. Tank Dell finally played at least. We need to change the scheme. Blocking was awful. This scheme is not going to win us a Super Bowl. It just isn't. Edge is okay, I guess. Devin White, obviously a bad season for Derek Hall after a good one. Young Hui Koo, missing 6 kicks out of 24 is not great. Ibrahim was the kick returner and the running back, and he had himself a hell of a year as a kick returner. Let me tell you, Lamar Jackson is the MVP of the league, apparently. and we are not going to win a single award. Like, look at Ritter on the Chargers. Is this the scheme we changed to? I mean, this is kind of busted. Like, look at all this. Although Mike Williams is terrible, so it's like, I don't know. I want to find a scheme that has the top 2 wide receivers and the tight end being used. Is it the Buccaneers? I mean, their running game sucks, though. I mean, I guess I don't really care too much to run the ball. I kind of want a good passing attack. I'm going to just go to the Buccaneers. Division rival, so we know them well as well. All right, we have the Packers beat on overall by 4, but they still have Rodgers, apparently. I'm pretty sure that's not going to be the case. 10-0, nice bounce back finally, although down by 10, down by 3, down by 10 again. Defense, now offense wasn't great early, but defense is really struggling. 24-21, and the touchdown there will win them the game likely. See if the offense can do it. They're moving. They're definitely moving. And an interception. Oof. He's a rookie quarterback, in fairness, but that is unacceptable. Another? Holy crap, how are you getting picked off by Rasul Douglas? How are you getting picked off by him? He's like 7 speed, bro. Terrible fourth quarter, dude. Holy crap, and Ibrahim's awful. What is wrong with this team's running game? It just doesn't matter. Doesn't matter who you got out there, they're just going to suck. They're going to suck. I don't even know what to do. Like, look at the players they're getting picked off by, dude. These are backup level talents, man. Well, I mean, realistically, it was the quarterback that let us down. Obviously, the running game was awful as expected, but yeah, it was the quarterback that screwed it up. It was the rookie. 2 interceptions in the fourth when the team had the chance and blew it. Cowboys over the Raiders. They win it. Can we see a dev up for... No dev up for Drake London. That is a huge loss. And then defensively, huge wins. As where the hell is our right? Oh, they're both playing left out apparently. Devin White, huge dev up. Obviously, he barely went up in overall. We just paid him, obviously. Another big dev up is Mr. Grady Jarrett, who is now superstar, so maybe lasts a little bit longer. He's already 32, so that might not even matter. Although his regression wasn't bad, so we'll take that. The dev up actually means a ton there. We just paid AJ Terrell. Probably doesn't matter that he went to X Factor, but we'll obviously take it. You know, I'd rather have him be an X Factor than a superstar. Who would have thought? And then Jessie Bates with a dev up, which is nice. Makes him an X Factor at 28 years old. Should be good for, I mean, maybe till he's 33, 34, maybe forever. And it just sucks. We have talent. You know, Algiers good and Ibrahim's good, yet neither really played well. Hoping for a running back. Joe Mixon, he's always in there, though. I want someone new. Ramondre Stevenson's by far the best outside of him, though. I can't just keep going Joe Mixon. Not every team in the league can have Joe Mixon. But, yeah, I mean, there's really not a player here for us, sadly. This is an L. All right, offered on Jonah Williams and Justin Reed. Jonah Williams should accept. Jonah Williams doesn't accept, but Justin Reed does. Okay, that's shocking. But Justin Reed, I think Richie Grant's ceiling is kind of reached. Justin Reed, at least, you know, same situation, but he's an 84 overall. Very fast, good man, solid zone. And, yeah, I mean, like I said, with Grant, he's a good backup. And if I actually think, well, wait a minute, his ratings are better than I thought, Reed could be a good backup. So it really doesn't matter either way. Offensive line was kind of an idea that I wanted to, you know, go with. Jonah Williams, I did offer him a 3 or 45 because he's super balanced and he actually didn't give up a whole lot of sacks. I think it was like 6 and then 8, which is really not bad for Sim at all. It's actually pretty damn good. But, of course, you could see that he went with the Jaguars instead. Terrence Steele I looked at, but he was asking for, it was going to cost us like a 2-year 24, and he didn't really even play that well, and he was at right tackle, so there's really no point in that. I also did decide to add Ramondre Stevenson because he is a super power back with speed, so I figured we have super elusive speed, we have slow, strong, decently fast, strong, and then our youngster from last season is kind of like the best of all worlds, so we'll see, because the running back class looked like garb, so it's just not going to matter. So, we have pick 19, and there are a couple of defensive linemen. I don't know if that's the route I want to go, though, as, I mean, our guy is star. He's 22, but is that the route I want to go? Is McCallum, Woodard, is probably more McCallum because he's a little bit better looking base, you know, same ratings except an A block shed versus a B. Kerry Carruthers, he's like an edge that we maybe take because Ebikides, he's got potential, but if he has an early strugglesome season, I don't know if I want to pay him. That free safety ended up being bad, strong safety. So I would like to probably end up with the DN and Dorsey. I guess my choice is going to be Trent McCallum, I suppose. He's 21 years old as well. Trent McCallum it is, and he's normal, bro. I think this time, though, based on overall, like, if he's really good overall, that's who I'm going to start. Like, it's just, the overall does actually kind of matter. You go before this to move up 11 spots at the Cardinals to take the safety Dorsey. As of right now, we probably don't need a safety, but we could use a corner, and, I mean, he looked pretty good as a corner, right? So, I suppose, unless that tackle's there, ooh, still going to go with the safety, though. Ross Dorsey, 5'9", 21 years old, decently athletic, great man, great tackle and zone. Please be hidden. Thank you. We've got ourselves a good starter for the future, whether he's at corner for now and then moves to safety, whatever it is. Hoffman to the Buccaneers, the division rivals. Who would have thought? Trade a fifth next year to move up from 83 to 76 with the Steelers, which will end up being the guard Dixon. Don't actually have a spot for him this season unless Jake Matthews is lower than I would have thought. But I suppose George Dixon's the best. He's 21 years old, and he has that potential. I will say Johnny Lucas looks good too, but we just don't have a spot for him unless we were to change scheme, which I'm not going to change scheme just for one player unless he was really good, which he's not that great. Also, I will say Lorenzo Adams, maybe mid-4th if he's there. I might take him. George Dixon, 21 years old. Little raw on some of the run block stuff, but overall I think he's worth it. Hidden development trait. Don't know what his future position holds. The center we have right now is kind of like a bigger guy, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's like 6'5", so maybe he plays tackle, and then this guy goes to center because he is a little bit smaller, but he does have the size, I suppose. And that running back right there, the Cowboys, is the guy that the game suggested me, but he was 23 and didn't look good, so I passed on him. And yeah, unless we want to start dipping in our 4th rounds next year, I'm going to move on to the 5th round, see who's there, maybe make a trade up. Ooh, hold on a minute. Lorenzo Adams is still there in the 5th. I was going to try to make a play in the 4th for him. I'm going to go up for him. We got it done. I don't care. Lorenzo Adams, 6'2", 22 years old, pretty athletic, A-press, C-zone coverage. Not athletic at all, actually. Good jumping, but 90 speed. I mean, he's barely pushing starter at that point. And I'm going to go to the 7th round and see if anyone's around, which there is not the most proud person of our running back position and didn't add anyone. But nice! We drafted a 71 overall at pick 19. Wow, that is, I think, easily the worst first-round pick I've had in Madden history, let alone this Madden, just Madden history. Thankfully, we made up for it with the safety in the 2nd round, but yeah, that is not good. That is not good at all. Ooh, he's a superstar. Like I said, I think he plays cornerback this season. We see what happens with Justin Reed, and maybe make a change afterwards. George Dixon, the hidden development trait player who's bad at run blocking, really bad at run blocking. Take that. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. What is this dev? Star dev. Like I said, likely to play center, and then the center we have playing tackle. Yeah, that's a bit of an L, dude. Who was the other guy we could have had? We had 2 options. Woodard went 2 picks after us. He was 2 overalls higher and a dev higher or more. Love it when the potentials are a complete lie. Fun. Only star, but yeah, that guy we grabbed is just a waste. I mean, there's no point in starting him. He's like the 6th best, 7th best player at the position. Can't believe I took this absolute trash can. I think, and it's not even a question, it's actually the worst pick I've had. Because at least other bad picks I've had, I think I've started. This guy's just going to waste away as a backup. There's no starting spot for him ever. He's never going to start. It's interdivisional, but I wanted something for John Runyon, and Kate Otten at least is like a big, decent tight end, I suppose, so we add him to the roster. All right, the roster for Season 3 running back is still a disaster, but Stevenson's going to be the automatic starter, as everyone else has gotten a chance besides Wagner, although Wagner when preseason was terrible, to be the starting running back, and no one's really taken that spot. JSN is better than Drake London, but Drake London's still built better to be the true number 1, so I'm hoping he can get a dev up this year. O-line, left tackle probably needs to be replaced. Left guard needs to be replaced, I'd say. And then defensively, The overalls aren't great, but there is a lot of youth here for a lot of the positions. I don't know. We got a really good cornerback / safety in Dorsey, so we'll see what happens with his future. But I don't know if I like the way the team's developing, but that X-Factor quarterback kind of like counteracts all these things as long as he actually plays like one, as he was awful in the postseason. Derek Hall gets his first of 2 camp standouts, which is kind of a win. All right, I don't know how the running back situation's going, but our money situation is going well, but we also have to sign some players, but we look fine. So let's sign who we think makes the most sense. Obviously, Kyle Pitts is him. We delayed the inevitable for a little bit. It is now a, 1 year 50, so 6 year 90. Yeah, I mean, 15 mil per for a tight end is, I mean, I would accept it too if I was him. Ed Oliver, I don't even remember how he's playing, but I think he's been pretty good. So 2 year 27. He's young at least. He's superstar. Grady Jarrett, we'll see, but probably not going to stick around. Caleb McGarry, he's actually a pretty good overall. It's just he hasn't played well. 2 year 22. I mean, these guys are actually accepting offers, which is a pleasant surprise, I suppose. Algier, sorry, dude. It's just the way the game goes. Abakidi, his overall is so low, but is he playing well at least? That's pretty on par for last year. I'd rather do like a 2 year 14. Nice. So even if he isn't our starter for the future, we can live with that backup money because you need a backup that's good, and you know, it's not bad money at all. If we miss the playoffs because of this choke on the season, we did! No shot! We lost like 5 in a row or something ridiculous. We were 9-4 and we lost 4 in a row, bro. Oh my god, this game. 4 in a row. Nice. Isaiah Matthews, much better season. Rushing, I mean, it's better, but it's not great. Ibrahim as a backup was good. Maybe he starts again next season. 4 1,000-yard receivers, though, so I mean, it seems like the playbook is looking good, right? 109 catches for Drake London, should be a superstar. Kyle Pitts, Tank Dell. Everyone was actually really good receiving-wise. Blocking, Jake Matthews needs to go. Trenton Simpson had 8 sacks as an inside linebacker. Okay. Edge was actually not bad. Ed Oliver was solid. Everyone else was pretty bad, though. Interceptions were tame. Young Hueku was way better than normal. Pinion was decent, but he still replaced. Ibrahim is like the best kick returner ever. 4 touchdowns in 2 years. I mean, on par for the NFL record here. Not bad. Yearly award, we really should have been, dude. We really should have been in the playoffs. That is such a scam. No award wins. How did we miss, man? 90 overall team can't make the playoffs. Love this game so much. It's so good. So fun. It really just drains you. Like, it really does. Like, it's just like, oh, thank you. Appreciate all the effort we put in for nothing. 28-14, Colts win the Super Bowl. Dev up, Drake London. Stevenson did not go up in Dev. Not the biggest shocker in the world. Didn't offer him that crazy of a contract, so if there's even an even better running back, we can maybe go that route. Ballard never went up. I just don't even know what I'm doing with that position at this point. No dev ups for anyone other than Drake London. Not a great season. Letting Grady Jarrett go, and, I tried to get Reed back, but he didn't want to join. But Hennessy I'm keeping, because he only gave up 3 sacks last season, which is really good. So, keeping him around because, I mean, that's invaluable. But yeah, weakness right now, running back is by far the biggest weakness. Ezekiel Elliott could add that boost. I don't know how Breece Hall has played, but man, this is, once again, kind of a weak group of players. Let's take a look at how Breece Hall has played, like I said, though. Curious. 3 yards per carry. Look at the seasons he's had. He hasn't been a starter, it seems, but what is that? Zeke, how well as he played. Really good for Carolina last season, though, but I think Carolina's playbook just does that. I mean, he's not, I guess he's a little more versatile than Ramondre, but he's not, like, the greatest in the world. Is that a 3-year? Bro, a 3-year for, wow. How the mighty have fallen, I suppose. A 1 year 6 doesn't hurt anyone, so, I mean, I guess Breece Hall is good, but he isn't playing well for them, so I don't even know. I mean, I'm just like, I'm signing like every running back ever at this point because we're just desperate. Why not? Probably not going to get either of them, to be honest. We got Zeke, 1 year 6 for Zeke. Of course, Grady Jarrett goes to the freaking Buccaneers. Wish him nothing but the worst. We also had a Kyle Hamilton on a 4-year 40. They didn't want to pay him. We'll say that zone coverage is a little low for 25 years old, but he's still got a pretty good ceiling on him. So it seems like Dorsey might just be a cornerback. I mean, we could have just kept Dorsey, but Kyle Hamilton's a bit bigger, and you know, it's not a problem having too much talent at any specific position, right? So, ooh, Tyler Smith. I could use a new left tackle badly. Yeah, I offered him a 3-year 50, and it looks like he has joined us. It's actually 51. He's joined us. He's a really good player. He's so good in the game. Like, 84 overall. I mean, just solid across the board. Maybe built a little bit more to play guard, but definitely can play tackle. Jake Matthews has struggled a bit, and more importantly, he is expensive, so we actually probably save money in this move, technically. Yeah, I mean, pretty damn close. Pretty damn close. Super dependable. Sorry, Jake Matthews, though. It has officially been time. A little bit higher of a draft pick this year at 15, which is a little strange, because didn't we have a better overall? I suppose playoff differences. We have 2 DTs, technically 3, but one of them's a left end that looks exactly like the guy we just had a bust of. I'm willing to drop down to like 21-ish here and grab one of 2. I kind of want both, which is why I'm trying to trade down, because we kind of need, I mean, like, left end has been a weird spot for us. Or is it right end? Whatever. Whatever the spot is where we've had players that are young and they just haven't really done much. It's been a weird spot for us, but yeah, I mean, what can you do? Trying to continue to hit the iron and hopefully get lucky. It was like literally a sliver, so I added the random tight end to make it happen. But 15 and 111 for 21 and 53. And both of them were still there. Still have an option to trade up as well if we want to try to go and double dip. I think it kind of depends on if we land a hidden or not. This guy's very interesting. But obviously, Cosby would be my number 1 here. But very interesting as well, as he has, you know, BBB. And then there's that tackle rating. D'Angelo Paul looks really good too, but once again, built like the guy we just had. So I don't know if I want to go that route. I'd probably just wait until one of them goes and then take the remaining guy. But I don't think it's actually Jose, because it doesn't have the little, what is it called, a tilde? I don't even know, but I'm just going to call him Jose anyways. Jose Cosby, a power move, a tackle, and a hidden debut. Thank you. Strength only 86. I thought he had like 34 reps. Okay, I guess not. And then once again, we're going to move on until one of those guys is taken. And okay, so we'll say I probably would have rather had Paul here, but I think I'm still going to trade up because we're a little desperate. What do the Jags need? If they need a D-end, which it seems like they do, I mean, I'm willing to give you guys one. It hasn't worked out for us, but he is, I mean, he's a good player. Oh, Trent McCallum's not even the guy I was thinking of. Although, you can have him anyways. I give them McCallum, Swanson, and 47 to move up to 25, which is, I mean, you could argue what you want, but very high draft pick McCallum was. Just we didn't use him because we had better players. But if they don't, maybe because he's a high drafted player, maybe he's worth it. So if this guy's normal dev, this is a mad L for us, as we basically just traded, you know, that for that. Channing Hardy, hidden, 94 strength. Okay, we won. We have finally won. McCallum was still a huge L, and I would imagine a decent cap penalty, at least probably 7 to 10 mil, maybe more. But we'll take it because we landed 2 hiddens. That's all I could ask for. Travis Morton looks pretty good too. Right tackle Ron Walden looks good. Might try to get what is this? Morton? Yeah, Morton's the guy though. He's in the 4th round next year to move up about 11 spots in the 2nd round, which I think is pretty fair. I mean, they took it, so it's not like, you know, I just scammed them or not. But let's take a look. Oh, right tackle still there. Okay, well, I have to decide now, because usually I don't get a chance at a right tackle, especially a 1 to 2. 21 years old. I mean, that's hard to beat. That's hard to beat. Morton, how old is he? That's already beaten. All right, so we're going to go with the youth. Mr. Ron Walden, welcome to the squad. Please be hidden. Thank you. Okay, so this has been a really good draft, especially just in general for the trenches, but hiddens galore. Anyone else? Brian Gonzalez was super fast, but that route running, a deep route running and release, not the most comforting. A bunch of day 3s, though, so let's move on to 15 and decide if we actually want to take one or not. We get to 97, which gives us 98 next year from the Titans. Probably an overvalue, but I doubt they're going to have pick 1 again next season. And it seems like all of our players are still here, so that's very interesting. O-line is always tempting, but do we not go depth at a different position? This guy's so raw, but he is fast. Don't really need that linebacker that much. I'm going to go David Lynch. He's a B finesse. Athleticism's lacking a little bit, but 83 speed, 87 XL, normal dev, but 21 years old, which is massive. All right, let's take a look at the overalls. Obviously, we're going to have to take a look at some devs, too. 74, 74, 73, 70, and then didn't talk about the other guy. What about the finesse of David Lynch, though? We at least got some depth, it seems. 76 finesse. I mean, he's definitely raw, but I guess has a little bit of potential. Jose Cosby, both 22 years old, which is a little bit of an L, but 82 power move, 71 block shed. That strength is lower than I would have thought. Like I said, what was his weight, actually? This will kind of decide if Ed Oliver maybe plays edge instead. Yeah, he'll play right end, I think. Is that what position we're missing? Dev is star. And then how good was Hardy? Because Hardy actually looked kind of better out the gate. A little bit better block shed, but he is definitely more raw, but is stronger. At 316, I kind of want him to just be the nose tackle. That's pretty big. And he's superstar. Maybe Ed Oliver at left end then, and then Walden. At this point, I think right tackle is probably the position that would be replaced before left tackle. Very athletic, though. Could play guard, but we don't really need that position right now. Dev. Star Dev. So I think he's going to stay at right tackle, and then we already looked at Lynch. I actually kind of want to compare the right tackle we got versus the guard we could have had. Oh, damn, he lasted a long time. Seattle at 73, which is ironic, because isn't that the team we traded with? That's kind of crazy, but so far off the top, looks like our guy is better. And yeah, he is better, especially since he's a position of more need, I suppose. Holy, 76 overall rookie fullback. This guy's kind of balling. Season 4, technically the best team we've had. JSN, could we not? Matthews, 89 overall. Zeke is the best running back we've had, but he is 31 years old, so asking a lot of him to be the number 1 here, but I suppose we haven't had any better, so it is what it is. Let's take a look at the defensive side of things, where we are definitely a lower overall, but we have more potential. Superstar DT with a star dev, but 75 overall right end. Maybe even trade Drayton. Maybe not this season, but the next season, as he needs a contract. And, I mean, he's a good overall. He just, we didn't really give him much of a chance. Year 1 wasn't great for him, and then I was like, screw that. Kyle Hamilton, higher ceilings, for strong safety. Dorsey's going to get higher overall, so will Williams. And then we did get a much better, younger left tackle. So this is a playoff team. That's it. Anything more, though, that's where we're like, okay, we'll see. But, I mean, we always see that the Chiefs are the highest overall team in the league every time by the end of the season, by the end of the rebuild. Yet right there, you see in preseason, we are a 1 overall higher team than them, which would insinuate we're at least a top 3 team minimum, maybe the best overall team. And Kyle Hamilton gets a +5 to zone coverage. That is massive. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty crazy. If his zone was already decent, I probably would have went man, but his zone is not that great, so that is huge. That I don't even care if he gets the standout, whatever, it doesn't matter. +5 to zone is ridiculous. That's like almost a whole season's worth, maybe more, of zone coverage upgrades. All right, 103 mil. Jessie Bates needs another contract, a 4-year 65, which is exactly what he got last time. And honestly, because he's an X factor, well, first things first, he's a safety, so I'm gonna hold off and make sure we have enough money for everyone else. Which, oh, wait, I've seen some names there. So, Derek Hall has actually, for once, in a rebuild, been worth it, which is crazy. 4-year 60? You could, but you could also be, like, nice to me, and, like, I would be really happy about it. Zeke, no. Drake London, yes. That's a 5-year whatever. It's not that bad, to be fair. 5-year 70. Anyone else? Anyone else? Who else we got in here? Trenton Simpson, a 5-year 42. Okay, so, I mean, we're fine. I think we're fine. Tank Dell I want to keep as well. Yeah, we're looking all right. We're okay. I might even keep Ibrahim. Not even might. I'm definitely going to keep him. So we should be fine. I would say, if I had to guess, we'd have about 40 mil left to sign Bates if we want to keep him. Which, honestly, now I'm starting to think maybe you just tag him. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm genuinely shocked by the turnaround of this team. Actually shocked. Didn't change the playbooks or anything like that because I just feel like the playbooks have been fine all the way through. We were like, I don't even know what we were. We were 0-4. And then it was like, 3-4. And then 3-6. And I was like, no shot. And then we won every game. Absolutely insane. What a season turnaround. Let's take a look at what the season was like, though. Did Zeke carry us in the ground game? Isaiah Matthews, pretty good again. Touchdowns are a little low, though. And he did. Worth it. Ibrahim actually didn't choose to resign either. I gave him a 4-year $16. He said no. Drake London was great. JSN was great. Pitts was down year. Tank Dell has a 4-year deal. We got a lot of guys like locked up, which is nice. O-line was great. Tyler Smith is him, dude. I'm telling you, I always hype this guy up. Glad I paid Derek Hall a 6-year 104. That was super good, super worth it. Abakidi needs to be replaced. And yeah, interceptions, not great. Younghoe Koo needed a contract. I didn't pay him because he's actually 32, believe it or not, but I think I'll pay him. Ibrahim, another kick return touchdown. That's 5 now in his rookie career, which is, well, since his rookie career, which is pretty insane. Dak, the MVP of the league. Any award? Hey, finally. Cosby got an award win. And best kicker, which is pretty cool. Could this be the year? Going up against the Eagles. We're 91, they're in 88, which is pretty good. Obviously, they lost Jalen Hurts, I believe, but I think they did have MVP quarterback anyways, right? He was a rookie even, I think, and he won MVP if I'm not mistaken. But let's go in. All right, let's see if we can win a game here. Get to the Super Bowl maybe, 7-0. Bird battle. We're the ultimate birds. Come on. 21-0. Pretty good start against the Eagles. 28-0. They finally score a touchdown. Looking pretty good to me. 31-7. 31-15. I mean, they're making a little bit of a comeback, but it is not good enough. We definitely should have poured it on a little bit more, but Zeke kind of carrying here. Isaiah Matthews, 3 touchdowns, interceptions, 4.2. I say carrying, but, like, he didn't play well there, but, like, we're in the situation we're in now because he's him, right? Like, our run game sucked before he joined. We signed so many different running backs, and it finally worked out. I gave him a 2-year $8, which I'm not sure why the hell he would take that workload at his age and say, yeah, screw it, why not? I'm really curious to see what JSN looks like, but I'm not going to look at him until the rebuild's actually over. So there's no point right now because maybe we play another season. Maybe he has to develop a little bit more even. I don't know. So there's no point in doing it right now. The Lions, 87 overall, 13-4 team. Jesus. Rashawn Gary and an X-Factor corner. Come on. Play like last game, but like finish it out better. Safety with the field goal. 12-0. They do get 7 a lot earlier than Philadelphia scored. Defense is doing good. It's just offense is doing nothing. Come on, offense. 15-7. 15-15. I mean, can the offense score real points, or is that just like, is that against the rules? Like, defense is doing what it can. Finally, yeah, thank you. 4 minutes left. Come on, defense. I just hyped you up. You can't be selling like this. You can't be selling like this. 3rd and 1. This is the game. You don't get this. This is a game. Can't run, commit. The AI always throws the ball on 3rd down. And off the edge, Mr. Bates. Trying to block with Adams. Can't. And the kick is no good. Who's their kicker? I mean, it wasn't like the easiest kick of all time, but Cade York misses it. Let's see if Pitts can do it. We got some height with Drake London. Slot for Mr. JSN. I mean, Pitts is literally naked. I mean, that's just too easy. They're calling a timeout, which I don't know if I agree with. And look, like, this is why the game does what it does. This is why you always run out of time, or the AIs run out of time. They're telling us to run the ball from the 33-yard line. I mean, it is a little early, isn't it? Like, you just do one of those instead. You gain, like, I don't know, 7 yards. They're still wasting timeouts anyways. Drake London, does he really have that route running in him, though? That's the question. Zeke to the flat. I kept him at number 11, by the way. Oh, I just had Tank, dude. Did I say 11? What the hell am I even talking about? 16? Quarterback's number's looking a little strange. Hey, we got the ball to him this time. Another timeout? Appreciate it. Thanks for helping us get down the field. I'll let Young Hui do it, though. I will let him do it. Oh, man, they got really good corners. If they didn't have really good corners, I would actually take a shot just to try and call game, but there's no point. Look at Zeke. Movement's not bad. From the 10 for the winner. No, in this game, they'll run the ball or something. Yeah. To the championship round. Jared Goff's still the quarterback here, which, I mean, based on real life, looked pretty good. Matthews was not great. We already knew the offense sucked. Holy crap. I didn't know it was that bad, though. Drake London did his thing. Tank Dell did all right. Pitts, not bad. JSN really not involved that much, though. Ebikidi finally doing something. Derek Hall, better performance last week than this. Kirby Joseph with a pick. And then, thankfully, Cade York was trash, because if he hits some field goals in that one, we are probably not walking away with the victory. We're a pretty good team. Who is it? The Buccaneers. Do they still have Grady Jarrett? Could you imagine? 91 overall. They're 87. They have no Wirfs. I don't know what other bad players or good players that they're missing. But let's see it. Don't know what that Raiders team looks. Wow, they scored quick. I guess we scored quick too. They score nothing. Defense doing a good job. But the Raiders in the Super Bowl waiting for the winner of this one. Huge rushing touchdown by, one would assume, Zeke. This has been a crazy one so far. Come on, offense. Wake up. It's a long drive to get field goal, dude. Defense does its job. 4 minutes left from the 30-yard line. 4th and 10. What are they going to do? They're going to go for it. I mean, I agree. No pressure. Watch. This is not going to be good that I'm in here. Oh, well. Going against... Is that Jensen still here? Forcing some pressure. I'm going to let the AI do it. And he knocks it out. What a play. That could be it. Probably had a better chance of converting that because I was in than if I wasn't. Zeke. 4th and 1. I mean, you got to punt it, right? What a kick from Gillikin. Gillikin's Island. Put him on an island. And we're headed to the Super Bowl against the Raiders. Austin Malone. I got to say, Matthews is being carried here, dude. He is doing nothing. I mean, the defense is just going ham. Godwin went off, by the way. But yeah, he's doing nothing, man. How is he so bad, yet we're winning? I guess their kickers are really helping us. Man, these games seem rigged, don't they? They just keep missing kicks. All right, the Raiders, 89 over. Who the hell do they have? Let's take a look at our team first, though, see if we have any dev-ups. Things look different, but they're not. How did Zeke not go to X Factor, by the way? That would have been so clutch if he did. Yeah, and things aren't different. They just look different. Defensively, Cosby went up to Superstar. Derek Hall went up to Superstar, though. What did he do to get to Superstar? We'll take it because we just paid him a massive contract, but what exactly did he do to deserve that? I don't know. I'm not really sure. But I actually really do want to see what the Raiders, actually, I was going to say team looks like. Ended up going to the schedules. Postseason Raiders. So they did not have a bye week, which is kind of surprising. They beat up on the Browns. Decent win against the Jets, and then a close one against the Ravens. Interesting. I like, who is their quarterback that they're like them? Obviously, our quarterback's not playing well, even though he's good. So it's interesting in that category. Anthony Richardson. That is not the name you want to see. That is not an easy guy to beat. Oh, they got Quentin Johnston as well. They got a good team. What about their defense? Yeah, defense is lacking, though. Edge is pretty decent, at least left out. Their defense is definitely lacking. They got a lot of high dev players, though. We're definitely more balanced. No question about it. But will we be the champions of the world? 91 to their 89. All right, here we go. We deserve it. They also kind of deserve it, but we are a bit better of a team as a whole. Sure as hell not looking like it, though. 14-7, 14-10, 17-14, right? Huge score before half. All tied up by 7. Defense, please. 24 all, 27-24. Oh, slow this down. 4 minutes left. We are up by 4. Can they drive down? They're looking like they're going to, and they will. A minute left. Offense, how much time is that going to cost them? Clock is running. Who the hell even is Lucas? It's like a backup. And it doesn't matter if he's a backup because he's the guy with the huge play. 46-yard line. All you need is a field goal, but field goal ain't winning to the Super Bowl. Touchdown is. We're calling game if we can. Dell over the middle. JSN. This playbook is challenging. Lucas again. Good catch, good run. Gets out of bounds, gains 6. A little bit of clock, but went out of bounds, so that's all that matters. Play for the field goal, but if you have the touchdown, you take it. And we're in some trouble. Oh, thank you, Pitts, for dropping it. Don't catch that. If he would have caught that, I would have been so mad. We do, at this point, just need the first down, though. Under pressure, and Drake London delivers the catch. Holy crap, this offensive line. Is this line feeling okay? There's a 3-man rush. Somebody help. I guess double him. Got to manually double him. This quarterback is not that fast. That's pretty much going to force the field goal. I don't think I would feel comfortable throwing it to anyone but Drake London here. JSN to the end zone. I mean, there's going to be a look there, but I'd rather have the jump ball. The Drake! Who catches it? Why would they not double? Is that Hobbs? He's good, but it's not Drake London good. High point, perfect ball. I mean, JSN had a look, but obviously that's just bait city. Never a chance. I mean, the guy doesn't even get up there. Oh, my. Is Drake London going to make us a Super Bowl champion? They didn't protect the end zone, and the Falcons have won the Super Bowl. Matthews with the delivery, London with the secure hands and the great jump. And this team is champion. Not bad. Zeke, huge shoulders from that guy. The back on that man. He absolutely transformed this run game. Same scheme ever since we changed it to the Buccaneers. Felt like it was better built for our team as they ran the ball a little bit better, which is weird to say because it's the Buccaneers. Their run game is pretty much dead. That Falcons run game, though, really bad in sim. Changed it, fixed it. Team was great. O-line was solid. Obviously, when we played, they were a little iffy there, but this is a good team, and the X-Factor quarterback kind of got carried a little bit. Can't lie. He threw an interception in literally, wow, they locked Anthony Richardson down, but threw an interception in literally every playoff game, but in the Super Bowl looked pretty good there. Jacobs was really good with a touchdown. Zeke was pretty good. Receiving Drake London came up big. Quentin Johnson did pretty well. JSN with a touchdown. Defense, pretty tame, especially, pretty tame in general. Jalen Johnson with a pick. AJ Terrell with a pick. Kicking was perfect, both sides. No excuses this time. Normally it's on their side. The other team misses a bunch of kicks. Oh, it's getting dry up in this PB. But not this time. This time it was a clean win, and we were probably headed to overtime. Drake London called game. All right, there's a lot of... Wow, Zeke actually went up in overall, like 1 point. Not bad. I don't really care why. I don't know why I even looked at him, but kind of our hero, I guess. Drake London, 89 overall, 25 years old. It's dry in here, dude. I'm freaking sick of it. Super good catching. Release is solid, but route running's a little iffy. Not going to lie. Speed and all that didn't really go up, but yeah, as he proved there in that last play, catching, superb. JSN, I really wanted to see how good he got. Speed and excel and agility and all that kind of went up. Obviously, he's released a little low, but everything else is really good. He's a solid player. Curious about Mr. Kyle Pitts, who's a 98 overall, not quite 99. Super athletic, great catching. Route running's like up there with, some of the best wide receivers in the league, I'd imagine. O-line is O-line. Isaiah Matthews, 94 overall. Short accuracy never got up there. Throw power went up like several. I think he started with 93 or 94. Accuracy's insane. Play action, throw on the run, break, sack are all very terrible, though. Throw on the run, you definitely would like to have higher than that. Defensively, Devin White, do I really care? Trenton Simpson, though, 85 overall, 80 blocks, 84 zone, 70 man coverage, 89 speed, 90 excel. Solid player. Give me a dehumidifier. It's a battle right now. Derek Hall, 96 finesse, 85 power move, 78 block shed, 90 speed, and 87 excel. I mean, kind of better than I've normally had him as, right? I mean, sack totals were pretty tame throughout this one in general. Ebikidi actually had him as the starter all the way through, 88 finesse. He was up and down, mainly down, sadly, but it was enough. The team was good enough to win it all. Obviously, Devin White, we'll just take a quick look at block shed zone coverage. So he's not even as good as Trenton, which is a little bit sad, to be honest. Kyle Hamilton, we had him as a, an 82, 83 overall. Zone coverage, 84 with the +5 that he got off of us. Oh, my. Yeah, remember when I said a +5 is like a seasons upgrade? It's like multiple seasons for him somehow. Jessie Bates, the 95 overall, 96 zone coverage. I ended up giving him a 4-year 70, so definitely hope he would stay strong with that. AJ Terrell, 97 overall, was he? 96 overall, actually. Zone coverage is amazing. Man coverage only 84, which would be a kind of an L. But what can you say about that? Garrett Williams, 93 man coverage. Zone coverage only 73. Press is pretty good, though. What about the slot corner? Didn't get to use him as the safety yet. Maybe wouldn't ever become a safety, but really good man coverage, so whatever you end up doing with him, he's pretty good. So maybe a little bit of a waste early, but it's plenty of potential. Let's take a look at Cosby. These guys were obviously rookies, but they had really good rookie years. 90 power move already. He had himself a good year. Like, what can I tell you? And then Hardy, who is 79 block shed, 74 power move. Not great, but he ended up going up a couple of strength, I believe, which is weird. Went up like 3 strength and like more, overalls in that than he did in like block shed and power move, which is weird. But yeah, that's going to be it for our realistic style Atlanta Falcons Madden 23 rebuild. Hopefully this time I didn't forget any players. I probably did. Knowing my luck, I probably forgot someone huge, and it just slipped my mind again, like the Panthers rebuild. But if you guys enjoyed this one, maybe leave a like, subscribe if you're new. If you're not new, really appreciate your continued support on the channel. Maybe follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr. Second channel PK plays for Madden, non-Madden content, which we've been playing Hogwarts Legacy, of course. And we'll probably have another episode up there tomorrow. And yeah, no main channel upload tomorrow, but Tuesday will be, I would imagine, more franchise stuff and maybe like a experiment or something. Haven't really decided yet. But that's about it. Thanks for watching. If you guys have any suggestions for another rebuild you want to see next, there's probably a bunch of teams that I haven't done yet that I could do. I still have, the perfect fantasy draft rebuild that I want to do as well, and different challenges. So any suggestions, let me know in the comment section below. But that's about it. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys come back for next video. But until next video, see ya!